Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm not going to read through the full article. There is a link in the description. It's quite lengthy, and I'd rather just give you a short overview. I'm going to skip over a lot of the details, but I'll give you a brief introduction, and you can look into this further if you feel it appropriate. It's in regards to an incident that happened in July 2021 at a very well-to-do, a very posh health club, well, actually a boathouse and field club, which is a part of a Martha's Vineyard country club. So a very well-to-do country club that's only made available to those that own property, own a house, a mansion in the given area. The mansions cost between $2 to $4 million or so. Here's the boat and field club building, I believe. And in essence, it is a tragic situation. In July 2021, a 3-year-old boy whose parents had membership within the country club, a 3-year-old boy was left with the staff, and he was taken swimming. And seemingly, the attendant that was there to look after the children wandered off. I am skipping some of the details here, so there may be some relative minor inaccuracies in what I'm saying, but broadly it's correct. So the attendant that was looking after the children in the swimming pool took the children out of the pool. However, one remained. That remained little boy, 3-year-old Henry Bowman Backer. He didn't have any floaties. He was 3 years of age, and he was left in the pool by a counsellor. And when the counsellor returned, little Henry Bowman Backer had drowned. He was already brain dead, and yeah, he was gone. Now, this article is telling us that today in where are we? Today in Dukes County Superior Court in Barnstable, Massachusetts, Boathouse and Field Club General Manager Scott Anderson pleaded guilty to negligence, wanton and reckless conduct causing the death of Henry. So he pled guilty on behalf of the club. As such, the club was ordered to pay $100,000 in restitution to the family. In addition, the club itself, a corporate entity, was placed on 5 years probation. Whatever that means. I guess that means that if they have any other serious infringements within the next 5 years, then they'll have to pay another $100,000 perhaps. I don't know. That, in essence, is the key aspects of the story here, the case, the article. So the article does go on to let us know that the parents aren't at all happy with the level of restitution that they've received. I believe it's indicating that it's perhaps going to consider taking further action against the club. But in essence, that's pretty much it. Oh, actually, the parents are saying that they've created a foundation to help train lifeguards. I forget the name of that foundation, but it is mentioned within the article. And that's pretty much it. As I say, it is quite a lengthy article. There's not a great deal of information within it, to be honest. So there it is. A 3-year-old boy was left alone in a club. The counsellor walked away with the other children, left a 3-year-old boy there. The boy died. He drowned. The general manager has pled guilty to negligence, wanton and reckless conduct, and the club has been fined $100,000 in restitution. That's pretty much it. What's my take on it? My take on it is, like, this is very unfortunate, isn't it? I mean, it does seem to be negligence. It's not. I mean, it wasn't done purposefully, seemingly. It was negligent, and we should not ever fully excuse negligence, but it's not out and out evil. The world isn't perfect, regrettably. Accidents do happen, and the little boy was wrongly left alone. Um, but you know, I wouldn't for a moment think it was done on purpose. The club has been forced to pay $100,000 in restitution. Well, that's not an adequate figure. It isn't an adequate figure on many different levels. I mean, really, from my point of view, and of course I'm a complete layman, what the hell do I know? Not a great deal. But from my point of view, this is a very well-to-do establishment. This establishment, this corporation, has a lot of money in its coffers, in its banks. I don't know how much money, but I mean, it's not struggling, is it? Let's be real about things. It's a beautiful property. They have money floating around. Now, $100,000 is the annual cost of membership to the club. I don't know if that's per individual or per family, but either way, $100,000 is 1 year's annual membership to access this club. I mean, number one, you would think that they would make it safe, which they failed to do. But number two, to just be forced to pay $100,000 in restitution, which is one single membership fee, I mean, that's just not enough. It's not commensurate with the amount of wealth that I would assume, perhaps incorrectly, but probably not, likely correctly, it's not commensurate with the level of wealth that this organization has. So, of course, there is the danger of over-fining establishments to the point that they close, that they go out of business, that the business owners perhaps have to go bankrupt and this kind of thing. And that's not necessarily a good thing, it's likely a bad thing. You don't want to overly punish entities, especially when mistakes can and do happen. But at the same time, $100,000 is giving them a pass in my mind. Anyhow, I've gone over this topic a little bit more than I would have liked to be honest with you. Of course, full condolences to the victim and the victim's family. Again, his name is Henry Bowman Backer, 3 years of age. And he was left in a swimming pool. The counsellor left the pool area and subsequently he drowned. So it is an absolute tragedy. And it's befallen the family and it will devastate the family. It's not all about money. It's not all about restitution. And to me, let's be real, this family probably don't need the money. They probably don't need it. I mean, if they're able to afford $100,000 membership, annual membership for the local club, I'm thinking they don't really need the money. But at the same time, it does seem to be such a low restitution amount seems to be given the club a bit too much of a pass, in my opinion. I'll wrap things up here, guys. I will be making a number of videos throughout the rest of the day. Perhaps watch one or two. I might be doing some live streams with the open panels at some point. Let's see how that goes, and I'll thank you for your time.